Hello everybody, and welcome back to the King Fox channel. My name's Matt Coninger, and I'm building Kit Fox Model 7 STI. Today's episode is going to be a little bit of... My cameraman is not doing his job. Today's video is going to be a little bit of a smorgasbord. Got a few things in, and I'd like to go over them with you. So I got my torque tubes in, I got the rivets, and I got the one washer in there that I ordered because I messed those up inside the plane. And then I got maybe $30,000 worth of avionics in a couple cardboard boxes here that I thought we should open up and take a peek at. So let's do that. It says tear here, so I'll do that. Remove the old packing label here. See what we got. So initially I was going to hold off and get everything all at once, but I've been doing some reading and realized that I would probably need some of these items before I finish or get the skin on. So not that I'm that close to doing that, but getting, I wouldn't say getting there, but I wanted the autopilot servos more so because I know that they need to be mounted in the plane. So I got everything but the autopilot servos and a GSU 25C, not really sure what that is. A transponder, which is the latest, that ships March 23rd. A Garmin GNC 255 Navcom, ships January 23rd. And the GTN 650 XI, which is 12 grand. So out of 37,000, I'm probably missing
24,400
worth of avionics. We'll open this up and see what we got. I thought it would be a little heavier, but it's not very heavy. This one's 18 pounds and the other one's 9 pounds, so 27 pounds of avionics, probably a little bit of cardboard. So what did we get? A Garmin box. Wonder what's in there. A GDU 460 GPS display from the Americas. And it's just got my name on it. GMA 245. That's a Garmin something. Warranty registration card. I should probably fill that out. That is looks like another display. So it is another display and a mounting kit and some electrical connectors. Probably put this stuff under the bed instead of keeping it out here in the garage for the meantime. So it's in a bit more of a controlled environment. I got another Garmin box, GEA 24 unit only. I'm not really sure what that is. It's a box with some electrical connectors on it. Hopefully there will be some instructions in there that tell me what to do with it. GMA. Oh, maybe that's audio. GEA. External audio, maybe? I'm not sure. Another box. WAAS antenna. Wide area augmentation system. There we go. I'm not sure what color I should paint that. Since it says do not paint, maybe we'll just leave it clear. Another box. GMU. Measuring unit, maybe? Kit GA26X. It's sort of like Christmas, but I don't really know what I have here. Another Garmin antenna. Assuming that's probably for some GPS. Install kit for the GDU 46X. Some more mounting brackets. 45R tray back plate install kit. And looks like a bunch of wires. Maybe a probe or two. Everybody needs a probe. Ooh, some little connectors in there. That probably will be a lot of fun to play with. So that's box 2 of 2. I'll open up box 1 in a second. Seems like I should know what all this stuff is, and I think I did when I went over it with the Garmin rep at the fly-in, but I do not know what all the numbers and names mean right off the top of my hat. Which does say Garmin on it, so I Probably should know. This is box 2, so that was box 1. GMC 507, so it's like a Chevy pickup, but a GMC, a GAD 29 unit only. Got an install kit for the GDU 470. This is a GDU 470 GPS display in the Americas. A manual authorized release certificate for the FAA Form 8130-3 Airworthiness Approval Tag. And last but not least, 14 volt self-regulating, a GAP 26, GAP. Maybe that's Garmin Autopilot. So maybe I know one thing. And I got some space taker-uppers. And everything fits back in the box. How neat is that?
That's pretty neat.
That's pretty neat. So, that's avionics that I got in the mail. Now I'm gonna pull the rudder pedals out of the airplane, and I'm gonna drill out these 12 rivets per side and pull those torque tubes out that I've damaged, and then match drill the new torque tubes after I probably sand and use the old Scotch-Brite on there for quite a bit. I'll get that stuff pulled out of there and we'll make a little video. So let's get into it. So I upgraded the old iPhone, the iPhone 12 Pro Max, to the iPhone 14 Pro Max, so we could do a merch giveaway. If anyone is interested in a small rig case for iPhone 12 Pro Max, I'll give that away to somebody who follows me and comments and would be interested in that. It'll be my merch giveaway. It's very handy, actually, especially with the Joby thing on there. You can wrap it around pretty much anything, any part on the airplane, and I can get some better camera angles. So I did enjoy it, and I used it a lot. So get these rudder pedals out of here. Safety first. Probably gonna have to take the pedal off just to drill those out. That's good, that'll be good practice. When you want the washer to come off, it won't, and when you don't want it to come off, it falls off and rolls somewhere out of sight, so you have to buy another one. Still not going to be able to get in there straight, so I'll have to get that number 40 bit, which is long. So I don't know if you guys could catch all that in the time lapse, but this torque tube that I sanded with the orbital sander, I had to take down almost, well, you see I took it down to the steel in some parts, and the powder coating was extra thick up in this section, and then when you slide it in, it would go in fine to about here, but then it really gave me a problem as I got up close. And as we know, we need to be very close, almost touching on those 2 screws right there. Not quite that close, but pretty close. And that allows us to have, once our other pedal goes on, now that inner tube is almost all the way out to the edge of this, which is going to give me that full bearing seat on this outer bearing that goes in the airplane. So once these are up tight, this will go right in here and seat up nice and flush against this tube and the torque tube, which runs through this tube. So before I had like a 1/4 inch of bearing on there because this pedal was out here like this, because I put one of the bolts in, I put both bolts in going in the same direction. Be sure to put their heads together, bolt, nut on that side, nut on this side, and you'll have a nice tight section for your rudder pedals. So I'm gonna keep on going. 30. Special tool. Alright, so that was a kind of a royal pain in the butt, but I got it. I got these, I got the new torque tubes, got them installed, I got all the rivets in, and you probably saw that I had to drill out some other ones. I've got good clearance on my bolt heads, I guess. You see that the bolts are going and the nuts are on the opposite side. I have good clearance. I have good clearance here. And in the end here, you can see I've got a good bearing set there to sit on. So with that done, I also got I got the pedals tightened up so that they move quite a bit freer. In that previous video, well, you can see they almost spin around freely now. So I hit the bushings in there with some 60 grit, then some 80 grit, and then some 150, 220, 400, Scotch-Brite, and took quite a bit of material off them. And I've got them torqued down now to 20 pounds, and that's the minimum. So if I go any further, it squeezes the bushing too tight, and then the pedals don't. This one's a smidge too tight, but I think the spring is gonna take care of that. But I have to give it a little bit of force to get it to spin freely. So that is the co-pilot side, and then this is the pilot side. So this one also needs just a little bit of force to move it. This one is about the same, just a little tiny bit. But I'm hoping those springs, and I suppose the brake cylinders are hydraulically operated, so they're going to rely on force, and hopefully the spring will pull the pedal back. I'm not sure if that's going to happen or what. So I'll find out here in the near future if I have to pull them out again and grind down the bushings some more. The 60 grit definitely took some meat off those bushings quickly. So, and you can see back here that I've got plenty of clearance between the bushing and the metal housing, but yet it's still a little bit, doesn't want to move quite freely. So hopefully that'll be taken care of. And then again, as you can see, narrow gap here, bolt nut heads on the outside, got a good gap and a good bearing right in here. I did have to drill out two rivets that I put in. They were elevated. I didn't have the gun pushed down tight against the material, so note to self, even though I already know that. I screwed it up anyway, but fixed it. And I had to steal from box 5. There were 50 stainless steel rivets in there, so I do have those on the order list so that I don't get someplace down the road and say, oh, I'm 2 rivets shy. Now I'm going to put and I got these torqued to 30 inch-pounds, and you could see that I was struggling with that. I ended up having to put the flathead in a vice grip and hold it on there, because trying to torque to 30 pounds and holding a flathead screwdriver in there, and everything seems to have a little coat of grease on it, including my hands. So that was a bugger, but I got them. Now I have to make sure that the hole in this bolt is vertical, because the spring is going to hook into that for the pulleys. So for both of those, I'll have to make sure that bolt head is up, and I can easily turn that without loosening that wonderful nut on there. So that's a good thing. So now we'll see if we can get them in the airplane. The good news, I think, is that I do believe that my floor is level inside the airplane. So contrary to some other people that have had to do a lot of shimming or whatnot inside the airplane, I think mine's level. So we're gonna get into that and get these things in the plane, I hope. Yeah, I'm gonna put my bolt mark on there now. Hopefully I won't have to take these things off again. So anyway, I put this on there because it lets me know that I've already torqued these down for the final time, for sure. If this is broken, then it's easy to see. A little bit of a balancing act, keeping everything in here without tipping over. The other day I did get these holes drilled here for this center bracket, so I got them drilled through the floorboards and through the center metal piece underneath. So all I need to do now is do this piece down here that you can't see. I'm gonna have to drill this piece out, get it marked. First I got to get my 2 7/16 from the front edge of this board, or this beam, this frame member, to the front edge of the rudder pedal arm here. I'm going to do that on both sides. Once it's in place, I'll mark it and then drill those out through the piece of metal underneath. And everything's going to line up perfectly, I know. Well, I see a problem. So I'm going to have to take some of my glue off because I got these rudder pedals on upside down. So I'll have to take those off and retorque them. That's awesome. I'll leave that set over there. So I just have to undo one set. But for now, I'll just see if everything fits, because I can take the pedals off later on. These top pieces, these are supposed to be up for the master cylinders, so I'll swap those around. And now, get our measuring device here, already set up to 2 7/16 of an inch. So from this front post to the front tube, it's 2 7/16 of an inch. Check it on both sides. 2 7/16 of an inch. That's good. And I'm gonna center that bracket up over its original holes and check it again. There. And the good news is that I'm actually lined up over these. This is the center of the piece, and you can see the holes there. So lined up, which is good. That one's lined up, and this one is lined up. So now I can drill them and install them. So let's do that. Nine, 1, 1, 2, 1. 6 of those. I'm going to drill through with a 3/16 and then ream it to 0.1875.